Hello, I'm Prince Dearlove live from Planet Earth. You're watching Chixxflix. I hope you enjoy the show. We're really just going to be talking about black conservatives today. Two in particular, Brandon B. Tatum and Candace Owens. Those two we need to talk about because I don't know if you guys saw, but recently Mark Dice called Brandon B. Tatum a DEI hire, right? And recently, Brandon B. Tatum and Candace Owens, they've been talking about racism on Twitter. They've been actually the two black conservatives that have been pandering for white people their whole career, pandering to white people their whole career, telling black people that racism don't really exist and we should just be quiet. Those two are now talking about racism because they're experiencing it now from the side that they're on, the right, the conservatives, the white ones. So we're going to talk about that, and it's really just that's going to be the main point of the show. I'm going to get into a few other things maybe, but that's the main show today that we're going to be talking about because it needs to be talked about. So you got Brandon B. Tatum being called a DEI hire by Mark Dice. Now, for those of you who don't know Mark Dice, he's also a conservative. He's on the right. He does political commentary, so he got skin in the game. He recently called, not recently, like yesterday, called Brandon B. Tatum a DEI hire because apparently Tatum was going at Tucker and he don't like that and blah blah blah. But it just goes to show you that you're on this side thinking you're on equal footing, and no, they're looking at you like you're black, you're on this side. Yeah, you may be smart or whatever, maybe, but you're really a DEI hire. So Tatum has something to say to that, and Tatum goes, "Oh, is that really what you think?" I'm thinking, yes, that's really what he thinks. You are a DEI hire. He doesn't see you as an equal. He sees you, well, you see him as an equal, but he doesn't see you as an equal. You know, a lot of the times I be saying like black conservatives would, and they're usually Christian too, they be saying the same words as the white people, and the white people be meaning something totally different. Like when a white person says they're a Christian, I think it means something different from when a black person says they're a Christian. When a white person says they're a Christian, they mean Jesus is for them, and then there's everybody else. When a black person says they're Christian, they're talking about Jesus is for everyone, and that's it. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, you're saying the same thing, but you mean two different things, right? So, for example, that Christian ish was happening during slavery. It didn't stop them from being slave owners. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's always been there. That's a different thing I don't want to get into, but it just goes to show, like Brandon B. Tatum, like, yeah, he may be rich, but he's kind of stupid. Like Mark Dice is calling you a DEI hire. You're calling him, oh, you're saying, oh, I thought we were friends. I thought we were friends. No, you're not friends. He was using you for your vote. And that's what the black conservative doesn't understand. You're being used for a vote. You're being used just so that guy that the white conservatives want can get into office. That's what you're being used for. You're not friends with these people. Mark Dice, after all these years of you, do y'all understand? Brandon B. Tatum been pandering to white people his whole career, and out of nowhere, they're all attacking him. You got Nick Fuentes going at him. You got Mark Dice calling him a DEI hire, and he's really shocked. He's like, "Wow, y'all are calling me a DEI hire? Y'all are being racist towards me?" Brandon B. Tatum is using words like racism after pandering to white people his entire career. Isn't that shocking? You got Candace Owens talking about racism after having Nick Fuentes on her show, where he sat there and told her to her face that black people are genetically inferior. That's what you got going on with these black conservatives. So all of a sudden, Brandon B. Tatum and Candace Owens, they're experiencing the racism, and now they want to call out the racism. Ain't that interesting? After years of pandering to white people, now they want to call out racism on Twitter. Ain't that interesting? You just looking and you just like, wow. You got you got Steven Crowder going to Black Barbershop, talking to a bunch of black older guys, calling Joy Reid. They asked Steven Crowder, "You don't think Joy Reid is was giving her degree because she's black, do you? You don't think she was giving her degree because she's black, do you?" Steven goes, "I think she's really dumb." He skips the question and goes, "I think she's really dumb." Joy Reid got her degree from Harvard. She did 4 years of college and got her degree from Harvard. The guy you guys are currently worshiping Charlie Kirk, who passed. He dropped out after one semester. I'm supposed to believe Charlie Kirk is smart, but Joy Reid is dumb, and Charlie Kirk dropped out of college after one semester. Joy Reid completed her 4 years and got her degree from Harvard. I'm supposed to believe she's the dumb one? I gotta show y'all these clips though. So I'm gonna show y'all this clip. So Steven Crowder goes to a black barbershop. And this is what happens. Let me show y'all this real quick. So Steven Crowder's at this black barbershop. It's a bunch of black guys. It's like Steven Crowder and a couple of white guys. Anyway, this is how the awkward conversation goes.
I know Joy Reid. She's
Look at her educational background. You don't think Harvard gave her a degree just because she was a black person or DEI, do you?
I think she's an idiot.
Okay, so
but not because she's black.
So he goes, you don't think Harvard gave her the degree because she's a black person, do you? Steven immediately goes, I think she's an idiot. He skips over that. You know why? Because how you gonna call her an idiot? She just did 4 years of college. So no, she's not an idiot, but he skips over that and calls her dumb. Anyway, which is pretty much calling her an idiot. I think she's dumb. And it's like, you're debating these older black guys. Like, I didn't want to watch this video because I don't think I'm going to get anything out of it. But I did see a few clips going around. This is one of the clips I want to show y'all. And it's like, dude, like, their comeback should have been immediately when Steven Crowder calls Joy Reid dumb. Oh, really? She's dumb? Well, the guy that you're posting on your Twitter page and the guy that the right is currently worshiping, he dropped out of college after one semester. Is he an idiot? Charlie Kirk? Is Charlie Kirk an idiot because he dropped out of college after one semester? That should have been quick comeback just like that. Is he an idiot? He dropped out. Or you could have said, hey, Steven, I noticed that your I don't know if she's your ex-wife yet, but I noticed that she's divorcing you and she took your twins. Can we talk about that a little bit? You're over here calling Joy Reid an idiot, a woman who went to Harvard and got her degree, did 4 years of college. Hey, I noticed your wife or your ex-wife is leaving you or left you and is taking your damn twins. Y'all don't even see, but I saw a couple of clips going around. He's talking about black fatigue. Hey, does your Hillary Crowder, does she have white fatigue? Because she's leaving you and taking your twins, Steven Crowder. Anyway.
She's an idiot.
Okay, so you're entitled to that.
I think Van Jones is smart, and I disagree with him. Joy.
You're entitled to that. That's what his comeback is. You're entitled to that. And then, like, this is so funny. Look at these two black guys here. They're just looking at him like, what did we sign up for? Like, you signed up to let Steven Crowder come in your barbershop and call black women dumb. Black women who went to Harvard and got degrees. That's what you signed up for, letting Steven Crowder, a guy who's currently getting divorced, his twins taken away. His wife, Hillary Crowder, would rather be divorced and away from Steven than be a family with him. She'd rather take the twins and go. That's who you let in your barbershop to talk ish about black women, about black people. Look at this. Like, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. But that's who they let in there. That's who they let in there. They let Steven Crowder in there. And it's like, bro, Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder is currently getting divorced. Steven Crowder is currently getting divorced. Hillary Crowder would rather take the twins. I think he is already divorced. She'd rather take the twins and not be with him than be around him. But he has the nerve to talk about black fatigue and calling Joy Reid dumb. Joy Reid graduated from Harvard. The nerve of these guys. And this is why, like, I don't support him going into these barbershops and talking to these older black guys. They didn't even have a comeback for what he did. Quick comeback. They didn't even have one. Oh, you're entitled to your opinion. Really? That's what they said to his response to Steven Crowder calling Joy Reid dumb? You're entitled to that. Wow. Anyway, back to Brandon B. Tatum. So, Brandon B. Tatum, he's over here, like, shocked that white people are being racist towards him and that Mark Dice just called him a DEI hire and that Nick Fuentes is making fun of him and the Groypers is calling Brandon B. Tatum's wife a coal burner. He's over here shocked that he's experiencing all of that. And before, you know what? Before I thought Brandon B. Tatum was pretending to not know what racism is and pretending to not know it exists. But now I just think he's actually delusional. Like he actually thought he would not be experiencing racism because he panders to white people. You got Mark Dice calling you a DEI hire. You got Nick Fuentes, the Groypers, calling your wife a coal burner in her DMs. And you're shocked? Like, I'm gonna show you the clip. I'm gonna show you this clip of how like dumb Brandon B. Tatum actually is. Like, it has to be said. Like, I'm gonna show y'all this clip real quick. Cause this is just shocking. Like, he's actually like not a smart guy. So here it is. I posted it on my Twitter. Remember to follow me on Twitter, guys. Prince Dirlo.
Without you waiting 2 to 3 weeks. I have never said anything negative about Mark Dice online, ever. And you know why? Because I thought Mark Dice was my friend. And if I had a problem.
Yo, he thought Mark Dice is his friend. Bro, they're not your friend. They don't even look at you as equal. White conservatives do not look at black people in that space as equals. They look at you like, hey, you're the help. You're here so we can get Trump in office. That's why you're here. We're not friends.
With something he said, which I do have a problem with a few things he said. But if I had a problem with something that Mark Dice said, I would have just texted him. I have his number. He actually texted me before he made this video. And yeah, I didn't get a chance to get around to texting him back because I'm busy. I'm working. I'm a businessman. I got 20 plus employees here. I got multiple companies I'm running. I don't have time to text people back all the time.
Yeah, he don't care about none of that. Like, Mark Dice don't care about none of your businesses, none of that. He sees you as the help. Get Trump in office, help us, and shut up.
And he was asking me about Candace Owens and, hey, trying to get dirt on Candace Owens pretty much. And I was going to respond.
Yeah, pretty much Mark Dice has been going at Candace lately because Candace is talking about Charlie Kirk and stuff like that. And she's trying to get to the bottom of who took his life. So, but you see how Brandon B. Tatum just said, oh, he's basically trying to get dirt on Candace. But Mark Dice is on his channel being kind of friendly towards Candace, but kind of not. So these like conservatives, man, they're just betrayers. Like, they don't see black people as the same footing as them. They see them as the help, as like things they can just throw away.
I'm glad I didn't respond to him because he ain't my friend. So who knows?
He's not your friend, Brandon. Like, yo, Brandon's so slow. I'm glad I didn't respond to him because he's not my friend. Yeah, he's not your friend. You're a panderer. They look at you as a panderer. You are a panderer. He looks at you as a DEI hire. That's what he said, literally out of his mouth. Y'all gonna see.
To try to say something to set me up to say something about Candace so he can go share. It's just all that weird stuff, bro. And he texted me that. I didn't text him back. He made this video. I wrote a comment like, dude, I'm disappointed. Like, what's the deal? You got my number. He texted me and said, only reason I was a part of the Conservative Inc. is because I'm black. Is that how you really feel?
Yeah, that's how he really feels. Is that how you really feel? Yeah, that's how he really feels. The only reason you're a part of the conservative movement is because of your blackness. They need you to look better. You're the help. They need your vote. Because when you take a piece of that black vote from the Democrats, you can almost always win. So yeah, that's how he really feels. You are a DEI hire to them. Nick Fuentes told Candace this. You are a DEI hire. But here's the thing. Black people have been saying this for years. We've been telling y'all for years that how white conservatives feel about you. And y'all know how I feel. I feel like we should hold our vote and not vote for either unless we're getting tangibles. So unless we're getting tangibles, we're not voting for Democrats or Republicans. And this ain't going to be no friendly thing. This is business.
And he texted me that. I didn't text him back. He made this video. I wrote a comment like, dude, I'm disappointed. Like, what's the deal? You got my number. He texted me and said, only reason I was a part of the Conservative Inc. is because I'm black. Is that how you really feel, bro? You think it's because I'm black? You say I'm a part of Conservative Inc. What is Conservative Inc.? I've been running my own stuff since, 2018? I'm my own man. I don't take no money from nobody. I don't.
Like, Brandon is so slow, but let's fast forward this.
More black Trump supporters.
Because, yeah, I say something you don't like and y'all.
Well, and now more black Trump supporters visible on social media. But as we all know, if you back a DEI hire, it never turns out well. And now turncoat Tatum is...
Yeah, so if y'all didn't hear that properly, he just said, well, Mark Dice just said, well, if you back a DEI hire, it never turns out right. Yo, after years of pandering to white people, Brandon, this is how they treat you. This is how they talk about you. Ain't that some bull? Like, ain't that some bull? Like, after years of pandering, yo, you've been pandering for a while, and they're just calling you a DEI hire now? Like, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. DEI hire. And like Brandon is so in disbelief. I'm a DEI hire? What y'all mean? Yeah, you are. That's exactly what you are. That's exactly what you are. And you know, if I'm being really honest, a lot of black people are conservative, even when they're voting Democrat. I'm going to explain what I mean by that. A lot of black people are conservative even when they're voting Democrat. It's just that conservatives, white conservatives, are so racist, they just stay away. But a lot of them on the left are actually conservative. A lot of black people agree with conservatives. Yeah, I don't want men in women bathrooms. Yeah, I don't want that. Yeah. A lot of them are Christian. A lot of them agree with white conservatives. Yeah, the illegal immigrant thing, yeah, it's not good. I'd rather them get deported because you have things like what happened in Chicago the other day is when they come to raid and get people, they're knocking on your door too because the illegals are living in your building. So a lot of black people, they agree with the white conservative. It's just that they can't go to the white conservative and vote Republican because they're so racist. They're so blatantly racist. You could be supporting them for years, and then one day they'll pop up and call you a DEI hire, like Mark Dice did to Brandon B. Tatum. Or when they get mad, like Mark Dice does on his show, they'll say, go back to Africa, like Nick Fuentes does on his show, go back to Africa. You've never been to Africa, you don't know nobody in Africa, and you wasn't born in Africa, but they're telling you to go back to Africa when they get mad at you. That's what you have to deal with when you're a black person and you choose to go on the right, and you choose to be a conservative, and you choose to be a Republican. You got to deal with blatant racism. And it's like, who wants to deal with that? Nobody. So black people go, okay, cool. I have these two choices. I'm going to go with the whites that conceal their racism. I'm not going to go with the whites that are blatant with it. And that's why most black people vote Democrat, because Democrats conceal it if they are. Not saying all white people are racist. I'm just saying if Democrats are, they conceal it. Republicans, these conservative white people, they don't conceal that ish. They are blatant with it. When they mad at you, they telling you to go back to Africa. So a lot of black people, they are conservative. It's just that they can't go and vote Republican because Republicans are so racist. I'm telling you, I'm giving out the facts. A lot of black people that are voting Democrat are actually Republicans. It's just that they can't go on that side because the Republicans are so racist, man. The conservatives are so racist. They're getting mad at you and telling you to go back to Africa. You've never been to Africa. Anyway, I just wanted to share that little bit of information with y'all that this is not the year for black conservatives. This is definitely not the year. You know, Candace Owens had Nick Fuentes on her show. If y'all don't know, Candace Owens has over 4 million subscribers on YouTube. She has millions of followers on Twitter. And Nick Fuentes left her house after that interview and has been calling her nothing but a bitch and a negress, referring to her being black, since he left her home. And she interviewed him. She exposed him to her audience. That's what you get when you go to the right. And I'm not saying you should go to the left, but I am saying, hey, they're blatant with it. They really don't like you. They have a disdain, a resentment for you. He's been calling her nothing but a bitch since he left her home. So that's what you got to deal with. Like, black conservatives are just sheeple, bro. They'll lead you astray. They'll lead you off a cliff. They'll lead you off a cliff, bro. Like, I'm telling you. You know? And if they're not leading you off a cliff in politics, they're doing it with religion. I mean, like, Why do we have to worship a white man? Why do we have to worship Jesus? Like, why can't they wipe Jesus cum off their mouth, right? Take a napkin and wipe Jesus cum off your mouth, right? Read some spiritual books, open your mind to that, meditate. Let's have a new curriculum for black children. Meditation, astral projection, astral travel, learning about the spirit, learning about consciousness. And let's stop worshiping white people. Let's stop worshiping a white Jesus. Now, there's going to be some people that say, oh, well, Jesus wasn't white. He was Middle Eastern or he was black. Okay, well, every church in America and globally, there's a white Jesus. It's not a black person and it's not a Middle East person. And yes, in Africa too. And you're in America and every church you pass by in America, there's a white Jesus on it or inside of it. It's not a black Jesus, not a Middle Eastern Jesus. So you're here telling me as a black person that Jesus wasn't white. But when you go to church every time and you pray and you worship, everyone there is worshiping a white Jesus. But you're in my face telling me he wasn't white. Okay, well, your pastor doesn't think that. He thinks he's a white man. He thinks he's worshiping a white man, and you're there with him. You say that, people look at you crazy. Black people look at you crazy. Jesus white, Santa white, President white. It's so stupid. It's just a lot of problems. It's really dumb, and it's just stupid. In my opinion, just nonsense. Like, nonsense. But that's all I have to say. That's what show for tonight. Please remember to subscribe, like, follow the Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel, put your notification bell on when you follow me on YouTube. When you subscribe to me on YouTube, notification bell on so you know when I go live. Follow me on Twitch, Facebook, all that good stuff. Share the video. That's really good support when you share the video. That supports the show, you know what I'm saying? Leave a comment if you got a disagreement. I had to show you those two videos. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. And I'm out.